Fantastic. Hey guys, welcome back. So I did another video where I really discussed the essential AI tools for solopreneurs and why it's essential for you guys to have it. So I wanted to give you another visual overview. I like to give visual overviews as well with talking head videos so that you guys can see for yourself, how you can potentially implement a lot of these tools. I'm not going to go through each of these tools because there's so many. It's over 20 tools, different AI tools that you can use, right? But at least you'll see what the name is. You'll get an idea of, what it could potentially do for you and your business. If you're a solopreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a freelancer, if you're in the gig economy, any one of those, right? You can utilize any one of these AI tools. Again, there's so many AI tools out there. So it's really important for us to find the ones that are going to be beneficial for our business, right? So, using these AI tools, have rapidly evolved, right? And it has helped a lot of entrepreneurs and solopreneurs right now, right? But it's for those of you who are in the beginner stage, maybe in the middle stages, and you're looking for different tools, such like I do myself when I'm doing research on, other tools that may potentially help me. I just want to give you guys a rundown of some of the tools that are out there and what they could potentially do, right? So all-in-one productivity and content creation tools, right? This is going to be your ChatGPT. This is going to be your Gemini. This is going to be your Copilot. This is going to be your Claude AI. There's a number of them out there, right? But ChatGPT, because it came out first, is kind of like the grandfather in the space, and they've been having so many different updates where it's doing imagery, it's doing thumbnails now, right? So you could really utilize it for a lot of different areas of your business, right? For myself, I definitely use it for a lot of, I create AI agents, right? So instead of keep going in there and always saying, okay, today you're a content creator, today you're an email marketer, today you're, this or that. If it's something that I know I'm going to be using regularly, right? I just create an agent. And I use AI to create an agent, right? I'll create a whole nother video for that where you can create these agents. There's a lot of other people that have created videos for that as well. So, you could definitely check those out. Then you have Notion AI, right? Notion AI has been really good for like creating courses, having SOPs, integrating with a lot of other project management and enabling, automatic meeting and summaries. Notion AI has really changed the game too. It's been really developing. So whereas you can utilize it for a lot of different things, right? A lot of people they sell Notion templates, right? They even have it on some of the PDFs and things that they may be selling. They just put on a Notion and they give you access to it, right? So you can utilize that as well. So definitely use these tools specifically in your business. Right, then you have the market research AI tools. This is where Perplexity AI comes in, and what Perplexity does, it delivers fast and reliable research, right, in real-time market. The hindrance on ChatGPT, even though they have been, upgrading a lot, it's not relevant. It's not accurate. Excuse my words. It's not to real-time data, right? So you're getting data that is like maybe in 2023, maybe 2022, maybe 2024. We're in 2025. Perplexity comes in and it gives you real-time data, right? This way you get some insights of what's trending, what's going on in the market, and maybe you can see if you're, doing something for a client, you can utilize that for a lot of your research. And then you have Consensus, right? So Consensus synthesizes all of the research, similar to what all of these AI tools kind of do. They grab all of the data from these different places on the internet, right? And then they give you multiple sources of validated market assumptions, right? This is going to help you if you're a small business owner, if you're a medium-sized business owner. This is going to help you with understanding, what's out there, if you guys are headed in the right direction with some of the ideas you may be coming up with, or anything of that nature. Again, if you're a solopreneur, entrepreneur, these tools for research is extremely valuable. Then you have design and visual content AI tools, right? This is going to be your Canva AI, it's going to be your Mid-Journey, your DALL-E. I said in the video, I said DALL-E, DALL-E, like a DALL-E. Anyway, Microsoft Designer, right? What Canva does, it creates professional guided graphics, professional grade graphics with minimal design skills, right? I mean, you still should have some kind of, skills to it. There's a multitude of different Canva tutorials on YouTube, so check it out, right? And Canva updating, they're always changing the game. I use Canva regularly myself. And then you have your Mid-Journey, right? And your DALL-E, right? And this is going to create some unique, high-quality images for branding and marketing. If you're creating videos, if you're creating these kind of different styles of AI imagery for your clients, definitely use some of these tools, right? And then you have Microsoft Designer that came into the space not too long ago, right? And this offers AI-enhanced graphic design, for polished on brand visuals, right? Again, if you're dealing with clients, you want to have something that looks really professional, not something that anybody can run to Leonardo with, or to Midjourney themselves and just kind of make it up, right? So you can definitely use these for design and visual. And then you have, let me hold my big head out the way. Right, and then you have web and app development AI tools, right? And that's going to be your durable website builder, and it builds a full website in under a few minutes, right, without coding, which is fantastic. Because if you guys have been in the digital marketing space for a number of years, I'm not going to date myself. You remember the FTPs that you had to upload your files to, and then you had to, go into the back office, and if you're doing WordPress, and then you had to add all these other plugins, and it was extremely cumbersome. You guys nowadays have it so smooth, you don't even know. It is simply drag and drop, press a button, and you got a website right online. Maybe you need a little hosting, maybe you need a domain name, but that's nothing. Potatoes to potatoes. So like, it's really that simple. And then you got 10 Web, Super AI, right? And Doric, I think I said called it Dork on the other video. So it's Doric AI. Right, and this provides AI-powered website creation, right, and management. Again, another simple drag and drop kind of type AI tools that all you need to do is really have your idea of what you're creating, and you can create it, right? Especially if you're delivering these deliverables to your clients, right? All you need to do is get an idea of what they need, and then you just build it out. And then you have Builder AI, right? This enables app development, without technical expertise. If you're building apps and, different things on these different platforms, you can absolutely use a lot of these AI tools. They're so beneficial. Again, there's so many, right? So definitely do your research to see which one is beneficial for you and your business, right? Exactamente. All right, then you have automation and workflow, right? Automation is key, right? If you're, again, running your business and you're wearing multiple hats and you have so many different things to do, the last thing you want to do is do any of this manually. So you want automation. Zapier has been in the space for a very long time. It connects and automates workflows between different apps. If you're doing, MailChimp and, you have your website and it maybe doesn't connect there. This is where Zapier comes in, and then you want it to publish and post and maybe on IG, Zapier comes in. So, it connects all of these and it just automates the process, right? And then you have Notion. Notion is Motion, pardon me. Notion is the other one for documentation. You have Motion schedule, right, where you can create a calendar. You can do voice inputs, and it's really helpful when you're dealing with clients, right? When you have multiple clients that you're juggling and you have deadlines to meet, you definitely want to use a lot of these tools because it's going to, again, enable you to kind of streamline the process. The last thing you want to do is get behind on a deadline and a client's on your neck. I've dealt with clients. They're not the easiest people to deal with, especially when you're running an agency and you're a solopreneur. So definitely use a lot of these tools to help you, right? And the results is that it reduces manual work, right? And it streamlines the operations, like I just mentioned. Not to, say this, I can't say this enough, right? You really want to be able to automate and streamline a lot of your operations. It just makes it so much easier. Why make it harder for yourself, right? And then you have customer support, AI tools, and engagement, right? And you have Tidio, I hope I'm saying it correctly. Don't you guys, if I'm not, definitely say it in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't mind being corrected. Just don't try to get at me, because I'm gonna get at you. Don't come for me, I won't come for you. Anyway, I'm from New York, guys. Anyway, this is an AI chatbot that automates up to 80% of the customer support questions, right? Big part of any business, right? Especially when you're dealing with customer support. So you want to be able to have these chatbots that's going to be able to help and answer questions quickly, right? And then from there, reference it to a live person if they want to speak to a live person. Then you have chat-based, right? This enhances, customer interactions with intelligence, conversational AI, right? Now, this is not going to just be asking, ridiculous questions, because what it does is it collects information from all of the conversations that it's had in the past from other customers, right? And then it makes it relevant and specific to and personalized to this customer, which is fantastic. Then you got Dante, right? Which is provides 24/7 service for messaging platforms, depending on, which one is best suited for you. Definitely use it because it's going to be helpful. And you have the note taking and meeting summaries. I'm funny today. Anyway, right. So you can use a lot of these for, the recording, capturing meetings, audio automatically. This way you don't have to worry about literally writing notes down like we used to do in the past. It transcribes and converts speech to searchable text, right? Which is fantastic. That is so convenient. Then it summarizes and it extracts key action items and insights. This way you go back to your team and you guys can, huddle in, and start to brainstorm on some of the actions that need to be done from what the client meetings. Because not all team members can always make it to these meetings. So it's really important for, you guys to be able to have these notes to go back, huddle, and see what you can come up with, right? So tools like, Firefly AI, Otter, and Phantom are invaluable for solopreneurs and entrepreneurs who conduct frequent calls, right? Even recording your calls. Again, I used to do sales calls, so recording your calls and, kind of hearing what the customer was saying and, what emotions they were expressing, and where they're trying to, reach in their life and things of that nature is really invaluable, right? It's really just going to help you with, moving the needle, which is always important. And then you have marketing and growth, right? These AI tools, it's going to be able to help just with, doing a lot of the marketing aspects, right? Again, this is where AI really does shine when it comes to marketing. So a lot of the old school copywriting, don't necessarily have to do that, right? You can honestly, if you, like I mentioned earlier, you can create an AI agent. I have one for marketing, right? That's going to be able to help me with crafting some of the best copywriting out there. Where do I grab that from? I'm grabbing it from, some of the best copywriters that were in the space, right? And I'm going to create an agent surrounding that. So tools like, Add Creative AI generates high-performing advertising. WordTune and Juna AI, they optimizes copywriting and SEO. You have Argyle, and you have Vista Social for managing social media content. Again, there's a number of them out there. So it's really important to find out which one is going to help you with your marketing and your growth. And, do your research. Again, does it fit your budget? What questions do you want to ask? Does it fit your budget? Is this something that's going to be valuable for me and my team, right? Is this something that's going to be valuable for my customers? Right, my clients, excuse me. These are the questions you want to ask yourself before you, totally invest into some of these tools. Majority of these tools are free, so you can sign up, take it for a test run, and then see if it's something that you want to utilize for the long term, right? And then there's video course AI tools, right? And then these are the AI tools that can pump out videos in an instant, right? If you're the one that's recording, if you want to do faceless videos, there's another set of tools for that, AI tools that can definitely do that, right? But for these, you have the script that's going to edit videos, record and edit videos. You have Runway and you have Pika Labs, right? That create some really amazing visual, when I'm creating these videos. You have Heights AI that creates online courses and outlines the content. You have Eureka, that's another one, that creates courses and outlines them for you. You have Flicky AI, that creates faceless videos or any type of videos. You have Jaga AI, that creates another, that's not on here. That creates another AI videos. You have Syntesa, you have, there's a number of them out there. Again, do your research, guys, for the things that you're looking for your video and course creations, right? And platforms that you want to utilize. Again, make sure you ask yourself those questions. So the key takeaway, because this is not going to be a long drawn video, is that, you want to focus on the bottlenecks in your business, right? Choose AI tools that address your biggest challenges, right? So whatever you're facing right now, say it's editing, right? So then find an AI tool that's going to help you with editing, right? Say it's maybe, posting, scheduling out posts, and then look for an AI tool that's going to be able to benefit you and, post those social media posts that you're looking to post, right? You want integration is key. Like I mentioned, integration and automation, those are two words that you need to always tell yourself, right? Combine multiple AI tools into a seamless workflow. Again, workflow, just make it easier, especially if you're by yourself. If you're a solopreneur, workflow and automation, those are your best friends, right? Start small, right? And then scale fast. So begin with pressing challenges. Okay, what challenges am I facing right now? Then expand your growth, right? With adding other tools to your tool belt. Again, don't be the guy that just want to have a bunch of tools on a tool belt looking all fancy but can't even hammer a nail in, right? So yeah, don't be that guy or gal. Yeah. And cost-effective solutions. So like I mentioned earlier, again, make sure it fits your budget, right? You know, there are many AI tools and they offer free and affordable tiers, right? So, you know, find the ones that you want to get into. And there are also AI tools that are now coming out in the market, right? Where you can go like to maybe AppSumo and, you know, see what they have to offer. And you can get a lifetime deal on some of these tools as they're growing, right? And then you can be grandfathered in where you don't have to worry about paying monthly fees. Because I know a lot of people, including myself at one point, was always trying to avoid paying monthly fees, you know, but it is part of the game. You got to pay to play, right? And when you're building your business. So that's pretty much where it's at when it comes to AI tools. And again, there's so many out there, you know, don't get, you know, frustrated. Don't get anxious. Take your time, do your research, sign up to a couple of them, test it out, right? What I do for myself personally is that, you know, I test it out maybe a couple of weeks. If it's something I really enjoy, then I go 3 months. Something I really enjoy, I take it to 6 months. And then, you know, usually after that, I'm probably going to stick with it. So take your time, right? Don't get overwhelmed with anything. So this is just a rundown of some of the best tools that are out there in 2025, 2026. You know, definitely, guys, do your research. Go check it out. And as always, me signing off. Stay safe. Stay dangerous.